He smiled the first time he tasted poutine. "It's just fries, cheese, and gravy," his Canadian co-worker said. But it wasn't just that. It was the moment he realized, okay, I actually live here now. If you're an immigrant in Canada, or thinking of becoming one, there are certain foods that somehow sneak into your weekly routine until suddenly you can't imagine life without them. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 Canadian foods immigrants can't live without. Not just the stereotypes, but the real-life comfort foods that actually show up in newcomer kitchens, lunchboxes, and late-night cravings. By the end, you might be surprised which ones you already love, and which ones are quietly shaping what home tastes like in Canada. Chapter 1. Why food becomes survival for immigrants. When you land in Canada, Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Winnipeg, Halifax, wherever, everything is new. Weather, language, transit, even how people line up for buses. Food quickly becomes one of the few things you can control. It can comfort you, overwhelm you, or quietly retrain your taste buds. Immigrants don't just copy Canadian food, they blend it with their own. A South Asian family might add hot sauce to poutine. A Caribbean student might mix jerk seasoning into frozen wings. A Nigerian newcomer might put suya spice on grilled salmon. The result? A quiet food revolution happening in apartments and basement kitchens across the country. At the same time, Canada's grocery landscape has changed to reflect that reality. Supermarkets like Real Canadian Superstore, Walmart Canada, and Costco now stock more international products than ever, while chains like T&Amp, Tea, and Nation's Fresh Foods specifically target diverse communities. That means immigrants can keep cooking their traditional dishes and experiment with local staples in the same cart. But some foods cross every culture line. They're easy to find, affordable, and emotionally satisfying. Over time, they stop being Canadian and just become normal life. That's what this countdown is about. The dishes, snacks, and drinks that quietly become part of the immigrant survival kit in Canada. So let's start with the one that everyone jokes about, but almost everyone eventually gives into. Chapter 2. 10. Tim Hortons. Everything. Coffee, Timbits and Amp. Breakfast. You can't talk about everyday Canadian food without talking about Tim Hortons. It's not gourmet. It's not fancy. But for immigrants juggling work, school, kids, and transit, Timmy's is convenience, warmth, and routine in a paper cup. Tim Hortons has over 4,000 locations across Canada, making it one of the most accessible food chains in the country. For many newcomers, their first Timmy's coffee or steeped tea happens at a job interview, language class, or after Sunday church. Over time, "Let's meet at Tim's" becomes a default sentence. Immigrants adopt different favorites. Some love double coffee, 2 creams, 2 sugars. Others swear by French vanilla, especially in winter. Parents with kids quickly learn that Timbits are the cheapest way to bribe, reward, or calm down small humans. Breakfast sandwiches also become survival fuel. Egg, cheese, maybe sausage or bacon on an English muffin, bagel, or biscuit. For people working early shifts or juggling multiple jobs, that one sandwich and coffee can be the only proper meal before noon. Is it healthy? Not especially. Is it iconic? Absolutely. And once Canada's winter hits, and you're standing at a bus stop at 15 degrees, that hot cup in your hands stops being a brand and becomes a lifeline. For many immigrants, Tim Hortons is the first Canadian food habit they pick up, and the last one they ever shake. Chapter 3, numbered 9. Poutine, fries, upgraded to comfort. Therapy. At first glance, poutine looks like chaos. Fries, squeaky cheese curds, and hot gravy piled together. But once you've had your first good poutine, crispy fries, actual cheese curds, rich gravy, it's over. Your standards for regular fries are ruined. Originally from Quebec, poutine has gone national. You'll find it in fast food chains, pubs, food trucks and gas stations. But the best versions often come from local diners, smokehouses and poutine-focused spots where you can customize toppings, pulled pork, butter chicken, shawarma, jerk chicken, even kimchi. For immigrants, poutine is one of the easiest Canadian foods to fall in love with. It uses familiar ingredients, potatoes, cheese, sauce, but in a fun, messy way. Many cultures already love loaded fries or street snacks. Poutine just becomes the Canadian variant of that comfort category. Students especially rely on poutine as late-night fuel during exams or after work shifts. It's cheap, heavy, and perfect for sharing at 1 a.m. A lot of newcomers have their poutine memory. First snowfall, plus first poutine. First long shift, plus poutine reward. First friends outing, plus poutine in a noisy diner. And of course, immigrants remix it. South Asians add chili flakes or hot sauce. Middle Eastern Canadians mash poutine and shawarma. Caribbean Canadians might go for spicy jerk versions. The dish stops being just Quebec nostalgia. It becomes a canvas for every culture to paint on. Once you've had a proper poutine on a cold day, simple ketchup fries just don't feel enough ever again. Chapter 4. 108. Butter tarts, Nanaimo bars and amp. Sweet treat culture. Every country has its dessert culture, but Canada quietly specializes in simple, addictive sweets that slip into immigrant households through potlucks, offices, schools, and bake sales. Start with butter tarts, tiny pastry shells filled with gooey, buttery, sugary filling, sometimes with raisins or pecans. They're considered a distinctly Canadian treat and regularly appear in iconic Canadian foods lists. Then there are Nanaimo bars, no-bake squares layered with a crumb base, custard-flavored butter icing, and chocolate on top. Originating from Nanaimo, BC, they're now everywhere. Grocery bakery sections, coffee shops, office parties. For immigrants, these desserts often show up at kids' school events, bring something to share, church or community potlucks, office celebrations or holiday parties. Someone offers you, just try one, and suddenly you're Googling recipes, buying them at Costco, or figuring out how to make a halal, egg-free, or allergy-friendly version at home. These sweets also become part of learning how Canadians celebrate. Thanksgiving, Christmas parties, baby showers, retirement events, these treats appear again and again, becoming symbols of belonging. Over time, immigrant families start combining them with their own desserts. Butter tarts next to gulab jamun, Nanaimo bars beside cassava cake, maple cookies next to puff puff. The dessert table becomes a visual map of Canada's diversity, and these little Canadian classics earn a permanent spot. Chapter 5. Number 7, an amp. Number 6. Maple. Everything, plus Canadian breakfast. Maple syrup is the cliché, but it's also real. Canada produces roughly 75% of the world's maple syrup, with Quebec leading the charge. For immigrants, maple syrup starts as a novelty and turns into a pantry essential. At first, You drizzle it on pancakes and waffles. Then it creeps into oatmeal, yogurt, marinades for chicken or salmon, salad dressings, baking recipes, even coffee. Maple butter, maple cookies, maple bacon, maple glazed donuts. This flavor slowly embeds itself into your idea of Canadian. Paired with this is the Canadian breakfast. Pancakes or waffles, eggs, bacon or sausage, hash browns, toast and jam. You'll find it in diners, truck stops and family restaurants from coast to coast. For newcomers used to lighter or different breakfasts, this meal feels like a feast, but also like a warm, generous welcome, especially on weekend mornings. Families might not eat full Canadian breakfast every day, but it becomes a special tradition. Saturday brunch, after church meal, birthday breakfast in bed, or a first snow day treat. Immigrants also adapt it, using turkey or halal beef bacon, swapping potatoes for plantains, adding spices to the eggs, drizzling maple syrup on things their grandparents would be shocked by. The combo of maple syrup and Canadian breakfast represents something deeper, an acceptance that we're really here now, in a country where sweet and savory share the plate, and nobody apologizes for calories on Sunday morning. If you're still watching, you're officially one of us, someone who loves food and stories, not just quick lists. So let me ask you, which Canadian food have you fallen in love with so far? Is it poutine, Timmy's, maple syrup, something else? Before we jump into the top 5, do me a quick favor. Hit like if you're enjoying this countdown so more people can discover it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more deep dive videos on life in Canada, immigration, and real everyday experiences, not just glossy brochures. And drop a comment below with, "My Canadian food obsession is oh." All right, let's get into the top 5. The foods that silently become part of almost every immigrant kitchen in Canada. Chapter 6, Number 5. Rotisserie chicken and amp, grocery store comfort. This one doesn't show up on tourist lists, but immigrants know. Grocery store rotisserie chicken is a Canadian survival hack. Costco, Loblaws, Real Canadian Superstore, Walmart, Metro, almost every major chain sells hot, ready-to-eat chickens for a low price. For busy families juggling long shifts and kids' schedules, that $8 bird often saves the day. You grab one, add rice, salad, bread, or leftover stew from home, and dinner is done. No thawing, no marinating, no crying over raw chicken at 9 p.m. According to multiple grocery trend reports, ready-to-eat meals and hot counters have grown in popularity across Canada as people seek convenience without full fast food guilt. Rotisserie chicken is consistently highlighted as a top seller. Immigrant families use it creatively, shredding it into jollof rice or fried rice, using it in tacos, wraps, or shawarma-style pitas, adding it to pasta, soups, or curries when there's no time to cook from scratch. It becomes so normal that kids grow up thinking rotisserie chicken is just how dinner works in Canada. For adults, it's the unofficial support system, especially when you're exhausted, just moved, or still figuring out grocery prices. No one brags about it on Instagram, but in the real world, rotisserie chicken is one of the most loved, most practical Canadian foods immigrants can't live without. Chapter 7. Number 4. Number 3. Amp. Number 2. Pizza, shawarma, and amp. Sushi, Canada's real everyday trio. Now we hit the foods that define urban Canada, especially in cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, Winnipeg, and Montreal. Number 4. Pizza isn't Canadian, but it's absolutely part of Canadian life. Whether it's big chains, Pizza, Domino's, or local joints, pizza is what people order for. Moving day, kids' birthdays, late-night study sessions, office lunches. Immigrants adopt it fast because it's cheap, shareable, customizable, halal, veggie, toppings, and always available. Canadian twists like Hawaiian, ham and pineapple, invented in Ontario. Donair pizza or butter chicken pizza show how global flavors land on one dough. Number 3. Shawarma and amp. Donair. Walk down a street in any major Canadian city and you'll see shawarma shops and Middle Eastern, Mediterranean takeout everywhere. Lebanese, Syrian, Turkish, Palestinian, Egyptian, Afghan and other communities have turned shawarma into one of Canada's most beloved fast foods. For immigrants, shawarma feels both familiar and local. It's a taste of home for some and a delicious discovery for others. Late-night chicken shawarma, beef donair, or falafel wrap, stuffed with garlic sauce, pickles and fries, quickly becomes part of the Canadian experience. In some regions, like Atlantic Canada, the donair is so iconic it's recognized as a local official food. Number 2. Sushi. Sushi might surprise some people on a Canadian list, but among immigrants in cities, sushi is a go-to. Affordable all-you-can-eat spots, grab-and-go sushi boxes at grocery stores, and fusion rolls have made sushi mainstream. Many newcomers love it because it can be light, customizable, and relatively healthy if you choose well. Avocado rolls, salmon rolls, tempura shrimp, vegetarian combos, there's something for everyone. Grocery chains like Sobeys, Loblaws and Costco often have in-house sushi counters now. Together, pizza, shawarma and sushi form the holy trinity of urban Canadian takeout, and immigrants are some of their most loyal customers. Chapter 8. Number 1. The real winner. Fusion kitchen at home. Here's the twist. The number 1 Canadian food immigrants can't live without is actually their own food, fused with Canada. Over time, most immigrant families end up with a kitchen that tells a story. Maple syrup, next to garam masala, poutine-style fries, beside jollof rice, or biryani timmies, coffee with homemade patties, samosas, or bao rotisserie chicken chopped into stew with African, Asian, Latin, or Caribbean spices. Canada's real national dish isn't just poutine or maple syrup. It's the fusion plate. A little bit of home, a little bit of here, thrown together in the same meal. Studies and food trend reports show that ethnic and fusion foods are among the fastest growing categories in Canadian restaurants, supermarkets, and delivery apps. Newcomers not only buy Canadian food, they transform it and build businesses around it. For kids of immigrants, Canadian food is whatever shows up at the dinner table: roti with ketchup, plantain with maple-baked beans, instant noodles with cheese, butter chicken poutine, jerk chicken tacos, kimchi grilled cheese. The list goes on. So when we say top 10 Canadian foods immigrants can't live without, the real takeaway is this: yes, they love Timmy's, poutine, maple, pizza, shawarma, and sushi. But the most important thing they can't live without is the freedom to mix, adapt, and reinvent those foods with their own culture. That's the real taste of Canada in 2025. Not one dish, but a million small choices made in kitchens every night. If this video made you hungry or made you feel seen, don't just scroll away. Hit like so more immigrants, Canadians, and future newcomers can find this and say, "Yep, that's my life." Subscribe to the channel for more real-life Canada content. Immigration, housing, jobs, culture shocks, and everyday stories people don't always talk about. In the comments, tell us, where are you from And what's your number one Canadian food you can't live without? And if you want a part 2, maybe top 10 Canadian drinks immigrants swear by, or biggest food shocks moving to Canada, type, I'm ready for part 2. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, enjoy your poutine, your maple syrup, and your fusion kitchen.